It is indeed a great honor to introduce the Social Media 2.0 Black Power in the Digital Age Forum. For the past several years, I have helped the members of the Congressional Black Caucus organize what I believe to be timely discussions on information technology and the deployment of broadband that will benefit the minority community. I can tell you, as someone who worked for former Vice President Al Gore, it is so important that the African American community become more familiar with the new digital age. Technology will not wait for us. In fact, it will continue to develop at a rapid pace. And it's so important that we understand how to utilize it in order to improve the conditions of our community, expand our own businesses and opportunities in the 21st century. I am pleased that we have I guess in a few moments, Mr. Clyburn, James Clyburn, who is the Majority Whip in the United States Congress, will come and formally introduce this session. But there was an emergency meeting called at 1:30 to discuss health care, and I promised Mr. Clyburn that we will start, and when he comes, we will allow him to say a few words, and I want him to go back, because I don't know about you all, I believe that when James Clyburn is in the room, somehow I'll know that many of us are represented, especially now that they're in the negotiation phase. And his wonderful daughter, the new FCC commissioner, also tried to be with us, but she will be here tomorrow at another workshop on broadband. I hope you get an opportunity to meet Ms. Mignon Clyburn, a real dynamic sister who will carry our voice on the FCC.
Donna Brazile is always kicking butt, and I just have to say that one of the most exciting experiences I've had as a journalist was getting to consistently be in touch with people who lead thought and who lead people, who organize people like Donna Brazile. And at News and Notes, she was a regular guest throughout the election and even before the election. One of the things that we did on News and Notes, which was an NPR program that really covered the African American community and the African diaspora community, was we worked to network people digitally. And one of the things that is becoming incredibly apparent, which we're going to speak about shortly with Robert Townsend and Ray Ramsey. Gentlemen, would you like to get seated while I'm getting ready to introduce you? We get a round of applause for actor, director, producer Robert Townsend and Ray Ramsey of One Economy Corporation. One of the things that has happened with media is that all media is everywhere. All media is everywhere because digital media follows you wherever you go. You can listen on your phone to a radio broadcast. You can watch Diary of a Single Mom on your iPhone, you know, and I think that this opportunity that we have here is one where we are all gathered because we recognize the power of what is behind digital media, which is people. There is no particular snap and pop and fizz to just having bits and bytes. It's really about who's behind the bits and bytes, and two of the people who are behind them are Robert Townsend, who is to my right, far right, Robert Townsend, filmmaker, actor, producer, entrepreneur, philanthropist. He has been making history in words and images, and he's got 30 NAACP Image Awards, plus has served as the president and CEO of production for the Black Family Channel, president of a joint venture with the One Economy Corporation called the V Studio, and their flagship project, Diary of a Single Mom, can be seen on the public internet channel, which we're going to learn more about. We've also got Ray Ramsey, chief executive officer of One Economy Corporation, which I used to work for, and this incredibly successful, wonderful organization is leveraging technology to really, you know, bring from both directions, from the media side, the content side, from the social networking side, from the access side, really talking about bridging the digital divide, creating digital opportunity. And on that level, Ray Ramsey is a founding member of the Broadband Opportunity Coalition. So I just want to thank you both so much for joining us. And there will be a couple more sessions that we're going to do where I'll be more a part of the conversation. In this case, I'm just going to let you guys go, and as we need to redirect or bring in audience members, I'll step in. So Ray and Robert, take it away. Whichever you like.
It's a pleasure to be here. Again, I'm Ray Ramsey, and Robert and I have not rehearsed what we're going to do, so you saw us up here whispering together, sort of who's going first, what are we going to talk about, et cetera. We'll speak about what comes naturally. I want to just, because Robert is really going to be the dessert, and when I asked him to join our efforts at One Economy, I said, one of my earliest meetings, I said, Robert, One Economy, we view information in a very special way. And I said, and we've been very good about bringing together the spinach, the meal, the entree. I said, but people want a full meal. They want the dessert and they want the appetizer. So I asked him to come and add that to our efforts. So you're going to hear and you're going to see some clips of some of what we're talking about. Now, we've coined the phrase public purpose media. And you're going to hear a lot about that, particularly this evening if you join us at the museum at 6:30 tonight, because we have a program that will be doing the world premiere of Season 2 of Diary of the Single Mom. So we're going to really show that off tonight. But I'm going to spend some time tonight, as well as now, just briefly talking about public purpose media. And for us, it's a simple concept, but a very important concept. And what that is that media can play a role in helping people improve their lives. And we have three objectives. One, to engage people. We got to bring the eyeballs. Two, provide quality information. And third, and most importantly, facilitate action. Help people help themselves. And if we can engage, inform, and facilitate action, we will truly achieve media with a purpose. When people talk about bandwidth, nothing has the bandwidth of television. But if we ask ourselves, has television moved the meter as far as we would have all liked in terms of health, disease management, education, employment, and those sorts of issues? If we're honest, we'll say it hasn't achieved all that we hoped. So in this rush to make sure that everybody gets broadband, which is important, but broadband for the sake of broadband isn't going to move the meter on the issues that the country needs to have moved. And so our approach is to say, let's harness that power, broadband as the instrument, information as the oxygen, then we can do something very important. And at One Economy, we say that in the 21st century, information is oxygen for the individual. Everybody's got to have it. But we want to be able to go farther with it in terms of what it can mean in terms of a difference in people's lives. So what we started 9 years ago, focusing on, let's make sure that broadband is available and affordable and that people will use it. So one part of One Economy focuses on bringing broadband to where people live. And we have a whole unit of One Economy that focuses on that. A second group, which is very important, is we harness the energy of young people in what we call the Digital Connector Program. And these young individuals go out into their communities helping others use technology. 3,000 young people have graduated from that program. And lastly, public purpose media. On the public internet channel and our Beehive website, you'll see hundreds of pages of content on issues that really matter. But what Robert is doing as president of the V Studio, and V stands for the Virtual Studio for Public Purpose Media. And by virtual, it means even though he's located in Hollywood, we want to be able to attract producers, directors, editors, and writers, regardless of where they are in this country and actually around the world. So our goal is also to recruit talent to help him in this cause. But Robert has dove into this issue to develop content. So you're going to see some snips of Diary of the Single Mom, but there's a whole drawing board of other content that you're going to hear about. And yes, we're going to be distributing on cell phones, PDAs, as well as online.